Hi, I'm Dave Fletcher, owner of Fletchertronics.net, and this is day one of 100 Bumble-Bs in 10 days. This is a Bumble-B. It's a small USB development kit. It's in dip shape, so it's great for breadboarding. So I'd like to talk a little bit about the tools that I use for building Bumble-Bs. Being a hobbyist and catering to hobbyist electronics, I like to keep the cost of everything very low. So this is reflected in my tools, which you'll see in a moment. None of this is very expensive and can all be purchased around stores around your house. Here we have a $17 hot plate from a local home appliance store with a piece of tin foil on the top. This is what we use for cooking the Bumble-Bs. Here we have it's an $18 Weller soldering iron from a local hardware store that we use for soldering pins onto Bumble-B, but not for soldering most of the components. It's just a small, lightweight pair of tweezers from a local drugstore. Lightweight because you'll have to be holding this thing a lot, so the easier it is to handle, the better. Here we have, this is actually a piece of an awl. And actually this is a great little tool for that you can hold like a pencil for poking small pieces around, and you get great control with this shape. It's actually just an old hardware store awl where the handle came off, and I discovered that it was just a great little tool for moving small components around. Here we have a razor blade, which I use for putting solder paste onto the boards, and we'll see that later this week. I don't actually use this handle, just the razor blade itself, for just swiping paste onto boards. Here we have solder paste, which is a little bit of a different method of applying solder than the regular this type of silver tube solder that you might have seen before. Paste is actually sort of has the consistency of mud, and what we need to do is get this onto the circuit boards, and then we'll stick the components down to it. It comes in this handy little syringe. This is a set of soldering accessories from an electronics store. These are used for scraping excess flux off a board after soldering. Don't really need as many tools, but they all came with the kit. This also came with the kit. It's a very handy little heat sink tool, but what's nice about it is it's a little clip, so it's very useful for soldering on header pins. Then I use this very old toothbrush at the end of the process to just clean off last flux. Also, we have some just regular old tube solder for soldering pins on, and we have some solder wick, which is just a little bit of braided wire in a little handy case here. This is for cleaning up bridges that might appear between two pins, and so to get rid of some excess solder you use this, and it'll just suck it right out of there. And then we have this little handy copper braid, which is just useful for keeping the tip of your iron nice and clean. So stay tuned and watch me build 100 Bumble-Bs.